Welcome to the Patriot Angle Podcast, a show about America's truth, unhinged, unfiltered, raw. Your host, Mike Gardner.
Joe Biden says he could do a better job leading our great nation. Apparently, when you hide in a basement, you feel safe communicating your wishful thinking.
Alrighty, welcome to another edition to the Patriot Angle Podcast. My name is Mike. Welcome to today's show. I can't believe it. Episode 33. Wow, this show is growing. It's growing. And I want to say thank you to some new listeners of mine coming from France and Sweden. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to this podcast. This podcast is unhinged. It's unfiltered. I'm not scripted. I say what's on my mind. And obviously, Melania Trump says what's on her mind as well. You just heard Melania speak basically what she thinks of Joe Biden. I guess it runs in the Trump family, right? Not afraid to say it. Very intelligent woman. Very, very intelligent woman. Savage and ladylike. Nice burn, ma'am. I don't know. I really don't know. If anybody caught my episode yesterday on episode 32 of the rally, basically I was a little heated on that show, and I don't apologize. I'm very patriotic. I'm an American man, okay, and I should be able to voice my opinions. Folks, that's what's going on in this country. You know, you say something, all of a sudden you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a homophobe, you're this, you're that, because I'm black. And I mean, come on. No one wants to hear that stuff. No one wants to hear that garbage. But hiding in a basement while criticizing the former vice president, the ultimate Monday morning quarterback, that coming out of Jerry from Minneapolis on my feed here, left me a good comment. Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate that. Here's another one coming from Joseph from New Jersey. Obama, change Hillary. I'm with her. Trump, make America great again. And Biden, come on. I mean, right? I mean, Obama was about change. Hillary, I'm with her. Trump, make America great again. And Biden, come on, man, right? I mean, you can't go any further than that. Boy, I tell you. But, it's nice to see that Melania is starting to speak in public. And, I mean, it's really good that she speaks in public because she's an intelligent woman. I mean, she's fluent in about 6 languages. And it's a shame on how people make fun of her because of her accent. She doesn't speak proper English, and it's a disgrace that we have a first lady in the White House that doesn't even know how to speak English. First of all, folks, she does speak English. It's called an accent. Okay, when you were born and raised in a foreign country, not America. We all know that Melania comes from Slovenia, okay? And we all understand that she wasn't born in America. So, it's it's so normal for the radical left or the crazy activists to try to shame people like Melania. I think she's a very intelligent woman. I think she will go down as the most intelligent first ladies in United States presidential history, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. But, what can you do? What can you do? They're going to say, oh, Melania was trolling Biden and this and that. You're going to hear that on the news. You're going to hear that on the news. You're going to hear that on the crooked news networks, But, what can you do? What can you do? You just have to, look at the crazy left and look at these fake mainstream media outlets and just kind of shake your head and laugh and and go on with your life. And as soon as American people start doing that, the world will be a better place. But, the First Lady of the United States showed more wit and intellectual thought, okay, and just a short little 1-minute clip than the whole Biden campaign staff during their entire run. And that's true. That's true. Was this, Adam coming from Wisconsin, the hottest first lady of all time. I couldn't agree, Adam. Couldn't agree more than ever. I mean, very intelligent, very beautiful first lady, and rightfully so. I mean, we should have beauty in the office, We should have an attractive first family in the White House, not a homely family, not somebody that just came looking like they just came off the street corner and stuff in raggedy clothes. We should have intellectual people in the White House. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. Could not agree more. But what's there to say? What is there to say? I tell you, you say something, then the mainstream media is going to look at it wrong, and then, oh God, then you'll be on outlets like Saturday Night Live, and they'll probably make a mockery of you, and then that will trend on the internet for about 3-4 days until they can think about something else. But that's the society we live in, folks. That is the society we live in. It's the society we live in. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I wish we could live in a better society. But, that is up to you, the American people. And, we have the general election in just shy of 48 to 48 to about 56 hours. I want to say 60 hours, right? About 60 hours. Couple days will be the main event, so to speak, of political history. Are we going to elect a person that's been hiding in their basement since the get-go? A person that doesn't even know if he's alive, that has to be constantly reminded where he's going to be from time to time? You want that in the White House? You want somebody that doesn't know his name, doesn't know people who's running for office? Sure, go vote for Joe then. You want your liberties restored, your freedom restored. You want decency and normalcy to return to this country. You want a good, steady pay and job. You want your stocks to be at an all-time high. You want your health care to be great. Then vote for Trump. I mean, it's coming down to it, folks. A simple common sense theory. It really is. A simple common sense. You want common sense, or you want ignorance and violence and destruction and chaos and mayhem in the country for the next 4, possibly 8 years. I don't. I sure as hell don't want it. Don't want it. Do not want it. With that being said, welcome to the show, folks. We got a lot to talk about on today's podcast. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these short words.
A hole for American workers. Biden voted to ship our jobs overseas. He He raised our taxes and imposed costly regulations on small businesses. Now, Biden wants a $4 trillion tax increase, a government takeover of healthcare, and a Green New Deal that would bury our economy. It's time for Joe Biden to stop digging. Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
That has divided the nation. 3 days, we can put an end to a presidency that has failed to protect this nation. 3 days, we can put an end to this presidency that has fanned the flames of hate all across this nation and made us a laughingstock around the world. Millions of Americans have already voted. Millions more are voting today, tomorrow, and God willing, all the way through to the close of the polls on Tuesday. And my message to you is simple. The power to change the country is not figuratively, it's literally in your hands. I don't care how hard Donald Trump tries. There's nothing, let me say it again, there's nothing that he can do to stop the people of this nation from voting in overwhelming numbers and taking back this democracy.
Oh, shut up, Joe. Believe this guy?
When Americans vote, no matter how many threats he makes, America will be heard. When America's heard, I believe the message is going to be loud and it's going to be clear. It's time for Donald Trump to pack his bags and go home.
I tell you.
We're done with the chaos, the tweets, the anger, the hate, the failure, the refusal to take any responsibility. We've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we do have a lot of work to do, Joe. You're tired, folks. This was Biden speaking probably about an hour ago, maybe 2 hours ago. Biden says it's time for Trump to pack his bags and go home. We're done with the chaos. We're done with the hate. We're done with. Is he quoting what we went through an Obama administration? It sounds like you're talking what you and Barack did for 8 years in this country, Joe. You divided us. You created hate. You created anger. You created people to lose their jobs. People to go on welfare. I mean, do you want me to go on and on and on? It's Joe. Are you confused? Who are you quoting, man? Let me quote something that you've been famous for this year to say. Come on, man. Come on, man. Seriously. Are you quoting? You're not quoting Trump. I know Trump didn't create the hate. I sure as hell know he didn't create the chaos. That's all been created through you and Barack and far leftists like Pelosi and AOC plus 3 and Kamala Harris. Your party is the party of hate and dividing. It's always been like that for probably like the last 20 years now. I'm telling you, this is not this. It's not the same party of great JFK. I know that. I know the American people, yeah, we're done with the chaos. We're done with the chaos from people like you, Joe. We know what Trump's doing. We know what Trump's doing. But see, folks, this is what they want. They are so obsessed with Trump's just stamina. They're obsessed with everything about this guy. Okay? They're obsessed with his crowd sizes. They're obsessed with his everything he does. They're scared to death of Trump because they know his possibilities. They know what he's capable of. See, that's the thing, folks. The Democrats, they might play people like common day folks for a fool, but they don't play me for a fool. They're very smart people. But they have like this I call it the Trump derangement syndrome. They're suffering from it, and it just continues. And it's at this point, I just laugh upon it. I laugh upon it because it's so amusing now that people are so obsessed with this leader that they're willing to do whatever they take. This society, folks, is very childish. I mean, are we living through a childish society? I think we are. I think we are because I think adults okay, are going backwards in life, and children are basically maturing at an advanced rate. You know, there are more children in this world that are more mature than an average adult over the age of 25. You don't need statistics. You can look at it. You look at it on the side of the road. You look in supermarkets. You look all over the place, and you see adults acting and behaving as if they were children. Seriously. I want to quote something here that I read an article, okay? And it's very relevant to what I'm basically saying right now, okay? That in this article I read, it was a very interesting article. I read a lot of articles, very interesting. You know, even the boring ones I find interesting. You know, it's funny because, you know, the boring ones, they even have a point to their statements, okay? And in this article, it shows that back in medieval times, okay, it basically in European countries, a lot of evil, okay, arose from England and Great Britain, and they would torment the people with evil, okay? And after time, as the time went by, the townsfolks, okay, in early European civilization, excuse me, I got the words. I'm telling you, they would start to believe it, and they would be brainwashed, and they would lose their way of thinking, their hope, their ambitions. They would lose a lot of different types of things, okay? And I truly believe that times like that in English colonies and English developments in Great Britain and England and all over Scotland, okay, has a lot of relevance to what's going on today, okay? Evil will try to brainwash the most common folk, okay, believing that they're not good, and even if they try hard, they'll never achieve to anything in life. Folks, that's a terrible way to go in life. That's a terrible way to go, okay? And I want to talk more about this Trump derangement syndrome or this Trump obsession by the far left. It's gone so bonkers. You got crazy goofy Obama now on the Trump derangement syndrome. I think he's been on the Trump derangement syndrome since Trump has taken office. Yo, you got to listen to this. This is just barbaric. Very barbaric stuff. I mean, I'm telling you.
You notice that? He's always worried. This is the one measure he has of success. He's still worrying about his inauguration crowd being smaller than mine. It really bugs him. He's still talking about that. Does he have nothing better to worry about? Did no one come to his birthday party when he was a kid? Was he traumatized? What's with crowds? But you know, I've had crowds before, you know. Had quite a few. But you know, when a country's going through a pandemic, that's not what you're supposed to be worrying about. And that's the difference between Joe Biden and Trump right there. Trump cares about feeding his ego. Joe cares about keeping you and your family safe. And he's less interested in feeding his ego with having big crowds than he is making sure he's not going around making more and more people sick. That's what you should expect from a president.
Oh, turn this off. Turn this off. Turn this off. The biggest manipulator of all, Barack Obama, trying to manipulate people. Oh, Trump just cares about his ego. And what's with crowds? He's so upset about crowds. What the hell is there not to be happy about crowds? I mean, if you drew a crowd of thousands of people, would you be happy? Would you be proud of yourself? I sure as hell would, especially if I'm the leader of the free world, the United States of America. If I was able to get behind my supporters, and my supporters were also able to get behind me, my messages, my agenda, my policies, everything I stand for this country, I would be proud, I would be honored, I would feel achieved in life. What's there not to be happy? These people are sick. Oh my God. I don't know if they're taking medication, but I surely think they should, because I mean this has gone too far. This has got the obsession in this country is gone too far. I mean, seriously. From the media bashing Trump with his rallies. Oh, Trump is a super spreader in this coronavirus. He's super spreading the disease and having thousands upon thousands of people at his rallies, and he has no remorse, and he doesn't care about the American. Oh, shut up. Shut up. No one wants to hear that. Christ. Want to hear that goddamn drama? Shut up. Shut up. That being said, folks, we'll be right back after these words. Don't go anywhere.
Censored 0 times, notably. No, because we're taking our message directly to the American people. We'll be making 5 rally stops a day. 5,000 show up. Literally, we had 25,000 people show up in Omaha. These are historic crowds. The president takes his message directly to the American people, and shame on Jack Dorsey. As the New York Post noted today, this is a mob artist. This is a shakedown effort to say, delete the Hunter Biden story. The media won't report on it. Social media will censor it, delete it, or we will censor the 4th largest newspaper in the United States. We will block them from social media. Big tech needs to be handled, and this president in a second term will do just that, because there needs to be equity. There needs to be a lack of censorship. This is what happens in North Korea, not in the United States of America. Yeah, very clear choice when it comes to COVID. You can vote on Joe Biden, or you will be locked down. Your schools will be closed. Your churches will be closed. You won't have social gatherings. It will be a lockdown versus President Trump, where we are safely reopening this country. Americans deserve jobs. They deserve freedom. Joe Biden's modeling his strategy, which is lockdown in the basement, but this president has surged therapeutics and testing and a vaccine in record time. We can control this, but at the same time, we can open this country and not lock down like Joe Biden will do. That's right. It's their livelihood. These are small businesses, people who have worked their entire lives to open these shops, these businesses. And then on top of that, you have 30 police officers who were injured on the first night of the riots. One run over by a car. A chance to stuff police officers in trunks. A vehicle with explosive devices. Let me be crystal clear why this is happening. It's because Democrats have enabled the mob. When they attack our police officers verbally, it ends up that they end up being attacked physically. It's called what Jim Comey said, the Ferguson effect, and we're seeing it play out yet again.
So as we have 70 new infections a day and 29 states have hit highs, is the president's approach...
This is your brain when you...
Lower than Europe's. Right now, when you look across the hospitals in the United States, the percentage of COVID patients in hospital beds is 6%. It's because this president did things right. You have a 99% survival rate under 70 and above 70 because of our therapeutics. It's very close to that because of what this president did, tearing down bureaucratic barriers, tearing down regulations, paving the way for therapeutics. We have done this right, and the United States comparison tells that story.
All right, Kayleigh McEnany. Fact is,
I couldn't agree more with Kayleigh McEnany. You got this scare tactic, this fear embodying from the far left. Okay, that, like I said it in yesterday's episode. They are using this, folks, as a political weapon. It's literally, and guess who's right in the middle? Trump's right in the middle. Because they're suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. It's not a form of jealousy. It's a mental disorder, like liberalism. It's a mental disorder. They don't know what the hell to do. They're losing their minds. I mean, I don't even know if they see the accomplishments and the achievements that this president's made. in about 50 months. I don't know. I don't know. Because, I mean, seriously, the CDC, as you can hear, clearly hear the press secretary, Kaylee, speaking, okay, in that sound clip I plugged into the show. This pandemic, this virus, this whatever the hell you want to call it, has a survival rate, folks, of 99.99%. A little shy of 100%. Let's just say it's 100%. A survival rate of 100%. And far left Democrats of mayors and governors continue to have their states locked down and have people caged in their houses like prisoners and peasants. The hell is wrong with these people? Because, folks, it comes down to the election. It comes down to Tuesday's election. Seriously, it's coming down to the nicks and bolts, so to speak. Okay, it's coming down to whatever they can do. Whatever they can do. You have polls out there, ridiculous polls saying Biden's winning. In every swing battleground state, they're trying tactics onto tactics to try to grab the Trump supporter. They're trying to grab that supporter that's held on so tight and so proudly of Trump for the last almost 4 years of his presidency. They're trying to say, oh, Trump, he didn't create a good, safe environment for the American public through this pandemic. He had his booming economy at an all-time high, and look what he's done. He tanked the economy. He tanked your 401k. He tanked your stocks. He put more people on unemployment, people losing their jobs, this and that. Folks, you know what I think? I said it once and I'll say it forever until people finally get the message. People like me helped Donald Trump get into office from spreading the true patriotic word of message to the American public. Folks, it comes down to this. If you want to continue being locked down in your house like a peasant or a prisoner, if you want to wear masks in public areas and social distance from one another, like somebody's an alien or an infectious diseased person, if you want your liberties and freedoms stripped away, if you want your churches locked down on Sunday and you can't practice your freedom of religion, if you want your kids not being able to go to class, go to school, acting as a regular kid, making friends, if you want all that, folks, if you want the socialist dream, well, I guess you're going to vote for Biden, right? But if you want everything the opposite of that, I guess you'll vote for Trump. It comes down to simple common sense. Common sense, folks. Stop listening to the mainstream media. Stop listening to these half-wits of the fake news. Stop listening to these politicians. Just literally making false narratives. It's simple as that, folks. You either have a choice. You either have the good choice or the bad choice. Now, if you want to continue living in chaos and destruction and mayhem and violence and looting and rioting and your liberty stripped away, your freedom stripped away, your amendments stripped away, you want to be locked down for the rest of your life? Well, I guess you made your choice. But I don't want that. And I think the average American is getting fed up with the corrupted government swamp of Washington. We have a short few days, folks. A short few days. It comes down to the Nicks and Barrys. It comes down to what you truly believe. Stop listening to these false narratives of the corrupted left. With that being said, folks, thank you for joining into today's podcast. And like always, we'll see you on the next one. You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle podcast, an Anchor platform.